What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. You guys see the title of today's video, hitting the dyno part 2. I know it's a bit of a lengthy video. We did a lot before hitting the dyno, but if you want to skip straight to us hitting the dyno session, here's gonna be a timestamp. In this first part of this video, we did run more boost, more methanol, a bigger fuel pump, bigger white pipe, and a BOE shift kit. I try to explain as much as I possibly can of what we did, that's why it's kind of long, but nonetheless, hope you guys enjoy today's video. Alright guys, so what's gonna happen right now, we're gonna take off this 2.2 pulley and we're gonna put this custom 1.9 pulley on. So we don't know how much boost it's gonna be doing with this pulley, but on this one it is doing, I believe, 11 to 12 pounds. Also, what we're gonna be doing is gonna be doing more methanol. So right now it's on 2 625s, which is equal to around 1250 milliliters of meth. So my dad actually bought 2 nozzles that are actually 1250, so it's gonna be around how much? 1262. 1262? Oh, so 2 1262s? How much does that add? 24 milliliters. So it's gonna be running 2500 milliliters of water methanol, and on more boost, more cooling, and hopefully should make more power. So with running a smaller pulley, one of the problems we're gonna be facing is running a smaller belt. We need to figure out what size belt, and that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna try first is we're gonna use this belt, because on a tensioner we could go a little bit tighter with the belt. We're gonna put the pulley on, tighten it up as much as possible to see if this belt is gonna work. If it doesn't, then we're obviously gonna have to get a smaller belt.
I should put the ratchet wrench in there.
So this hub right here that we pulled off allows us to bolt the pulley onto the blower. And the reason why we took this off is because the new pulley that we're adding is a lot smaller. So the new hub is also gonna be smaller because it's specific to that pulley. Alright, so we got the hub on, and this is the smaller pulley mocked up. What my dad's gonna do, he's actually gonna bolt the pulley onto the hub and then press it in with the hub so it goes in at once. So one thing, we just got everything pressed in, and one thing we were looking at was the distance between, the gap between the snout and the pulley itself, and we got that perfect. So now we're just gonna go ahead and put the belt on. Alright, so we got the pulley on and it got the first start. I did a couple of revs, and at the peak it was leaning out a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that issue with more methanol. So these are the meth nozzles we're running with the van. These are 1262 milliliter meth nozzles, and this is the solenoid that we're gonna be running to. Right now we have 2 625 milliliter meth nozzles. So this is a huge upgrade from what we're running right now, only because it is gonna compensate for the smaller pulley, which is helping us lean out. So this is just gonna richen it, add more cooling, which adds more power, add more octane as well. See, I took off the old one already, and just put a new one on right now. First one's almost done, just need to do the second one right here. So this is where the little nozzle is. This is what we need to replace, so we just take this one out and just add the new one. Okay, that's good. Alright, so we got the solenoid hooked up. So what this is gonna allow us to do is run a second stage and run it when we want to. We have everything already hooked up, like I said. We just need to run the meth line, put the intake back on, and separate it back together. Alright, so now we got this fully hooked up. It's wired now completely to the meth controller. We have both solenoids and the smaller pulley, so this is basically the whole new setup. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna test drive it. Yeah, maybe it's slipping, huh?
I see it stay at 14, dude.
Oh, on the other gauge?
Yeah.
Oh, this one fluctuates.
No, but look at this one.
Alright, so I got the van here. My dad's already working on taking down the tank. What we're gonna do in this segment of the video is swapping the fuel pump. So this is the fuel pump we're gonna be running with. It's a Walbro 255 fuel pump. This should be enough for what we're doing because of the amount of methanol we're spraying. So I'm gonna try to film as much of the process as I possibly can. But yeah, this is what we're doing right now. So our goal to take this whole tank down is roughly around 15 minutes. Okay, boom, just like that, we got the tank off. So now we're just gonna go ahead and disassemble everything so we can put the new pump on. To give a little context here, we had already removed the old pump and this is the new pump we are modifying. So you can see that one's sanding down. Now we just have 3 more to go. Just like this one right here, which is right here, is already sanded down. Just that one's gonna be a little bit cleaner. We just have to drill with this little sand disc. Alright, so the main challenge we were facing was getting this little piece right here to actually clip on so the pump doesn't actually back out. We got everything ready. We got actually sanded everything to perfection to where it does clip in now, so that's that. What we're gonna do right now, just reassemble everything, put it back together, and we should be good to go. So this is the old pump, and another challenge we were also facing was this is actually slightly thicker and longer. So that's the reason why we also had to shade these little things down so it clips in, because this is longer. But anyways, this is a lot thicker. This is the same pump, it's just a different one. So what we had to do on the assembly was sand down, bore this out right here, so that's why it can actually fit in there. It's a snug fit, but it actually works. So this is just extra protection because, to be honest, I don't think we really needed this because how snug it was. And that's another challenge we did face. So those are the only 2 like obstacles we had to go through. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so we got the filter on and we got everything assembled. Now we're gonna drop the fuel assembly into the tank, put the tank back on the van, and then just test it from there. Okay, we got the whole tank on. So now what we're gonna do now is just drop the van and start it up, and then maybe go for a test drive. All right, so we got the fuel pump back on. We're gonna go ahead and see how it runs. It's a little richer.
It should be the same, really, actually.
It should be the same?
It should be the same unless it's, unless like what Sean said, unless we're being restricted by the pump, which we're not because we have plenty of methanol.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It should be the same, it'd just be more, it'll handle more, like if I wanted to, it'll handle up, I think the 255 handles, if you look at it, I think it's 500 or 600 horsepower. Just fuel. So it should be okay, I think. It's just for reliable,
no, like insurance,
Insurance, yeah. But I doubt it's not gonna. It should be fine.
Okay. But we're gonna go ahead and do a couple tests. Alright, so if you guys pay attention to air fuel, it is a lot more lean than the last time we did test pools. It was in 11s last time, now it's low 12s to mid 13s. We did find an issue with the fuel pump, which is addressed in the next part of this video. Alright guys, so we did actually have to run this relay, only because we figured out, or my dad actually figured out that the pump wasn't getting full voltage because of, it was aftermarket, right? And the ECU wasn't feeding it full voltage. So he has to run this relay for the pump to run full voltage. That's why when we were running it, it was actually getting lean and not rich like it was supposed to. So this should solve that issue.
And look. So after fucking looking for everything, this is the pump wire. So what I gotta do is a relay for the fucking pump. I gotta put my signal wire to this side, and then obviously I'm gonna disconnect it here. I still need to test it, but so I got my signal here from the ECU, ground, trigger. These are both trigger wires to the relay, and then I got my power from my relay going to my pump wire, which is this black one, and then this one here is going to be where I get the B plus. I got to run a battery voltage to this one, probably keep the same gauge, and that's pretty much it. That's how it's going to be wired up. I think 12 volts max. And the pump that we're putting on requires more amperage and a higher voltage. I think 13.5 or 14 volts.
So the stock ECU.
So the stock ECU I think only feeds like 12 volts. Regardless, it's not enough. It's basically less voltage. We're getting less voltage out of it. So we're getting less voltage, less fuel.
Alright, so the ECU only feeds 12 voltage, and we need more voltage and amperage. So this relay is gonna allow us to run more of both of those, so we could actually get full potential out of the fuel pump. So running this relay should solve that issue. Relay, huh? Got the relay running, got a couple other things we got situated for the dyno. Right now we just filled up our methanol. We're just gonna go ahead and test it. So now it should be running how we want it to be running, which is either the same or maybe a little bit more rich.
better.
Yeah, well, 11th actually.
And in, yeah, but then at the top end it does.
Yeah, it was like fighting it.
So I could bring this one down for the top end.
Alright, so all we do right now, my dad just did right now, which is he just adjusts to when the meth kicks on, what boost levels. So that kind of changes the tune a little bit. It makes it a little bit more rich and more lean, top end or low end. It depends on where he sets the boost for the methanol to spray. So that's all he just did right now. And you see him do that every now and then, just so you try to get it somewhere where he wants it, where it's not too rich a top end or lean, and same thing with the bottom end.
Do a 20, like 20.
Okay, so I haven't recorded too much lately. This is a new weapon we got. My dad just got this made, and this is the old one that was currently on the van. The old one is 2 1/4, and the new one is 3 inch. So now it goes from the header. So the header goes from 2 1/4 to 3 inch, and on this side you can actually see it reduces. And we couldn't do that on the rear, so this is 3 inch and that one is 2 1/4. So the headers are kind of different, but this whole thing is 3 inch. So now from the white pipe all the way back, it's 3 inch versus before it was 2 1/4. So we have more flow. So this is one of the many changes we're doing before we did dyno. This next part of the video, we're installing this shift kit by BOE. Here are some of the benefits we're going to gain from this kit. I unfortunately didn't film any of the teardown process, but I'm going to go ahead and let my dad explain what he did in the next clip. Alright guys, so unfortunately I wasn't here to film everything. I just got here. The benefit of this is just for the transmission to shift faster and to hold a little bit more power. We already went through one tranny, so this is kind of gonna, hopefully this is gonna prevent that. But I'm gonna go ahead and let him explain everything to you guys, so you guys know what's going on as well.
Alright guys, so basically what I did here is I replaced all the BOE with the shift kit, the transmission enhancement kit. It just comes with these components for like the valve bodies. This one, this is a set, this is another spring, and basically you replace the spring and this little piston, and then this one you replace the whole thing, and they give you the springs and everything. This one here I think is it's a double spring, so it's a lot stiffer. And then also replace the solenoids with the BOE ones. And then basically you just install all these as per the instructions. This is pretty straightforward. There is 2 holes you have to drill with just a little drill bit. I don't know if you can see that. It's a tiny drill bit. I was gonna do the recording, but I can't concentrate in my cameraman here. He does all the recording, so I just did it anyways. So everything's already done. I'm just gonna add a couple more things on there and throw it on there.
Alright, so we got everything back together. Put the oil just in right now. Also, I forgot to talk about, but we actually did get a carbon fiber hood. It was resprayed. I'll show it later on in the video, but anyways, right now we're gonna go ahead and test it out. It's not recommended to get on it, only because we just put no oil on it, so just let the oil flow through and get all the air bubbles out of the solenoids. Another thing is, we do have to drive it 200 miles just so the computer can learn how the way it shifts, because it is gonna be a little more aggressive now. So we might do a pour 2, I'm not too sure yet, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna test drive it right now.
Hold on.
Alright, so we're supposed to weigh around 200 miles. He only waited like around 4 before I started doing pulls, but that's just a lot better. You can see this shifts a little bit faster. Before, what would happen is like, I don't know, the way my dad described it was like slur, where it would kind of like
hum through.
Yeah, like it would hum through before it shifted. Now it just shifts. But yeah, so that's done. It's not gonna give us like power gain on thing on the dyno, but it's just, you know, for us to shift faster, to shift harder. But yeah, that's one thing we did before dyno.
Early the next morning.
Alright, so we're prepping everything to get to the dyno. We just got filled up meth, you guys saw. We're bringing more methanol. We're just doing a couple other things just to get ready. We're heading out there right now. Hopefully we should do good power today. But yeah, other than that, see you guys at the dyno. Got here to the dyno, got everything set up right now. Gonna go ahead and do a couple test runs. Alright, so last time we were here, we had a couple issues, but not only did we fix those, we actually did get a smaller pulley. Now we're running a 1.8. And we are running at 7,000 RPM. Last time we were at 62. So now with more air and high RPM, hopefully we should make more power. 456 horsepower, 409 torque. Not too bad for a minivan, but we did run into one more issue, which is limiting us from making more power, which was the MAF was maxing out. We ended up doing a 4-inch intake, but haven't gone back since. But before we do go back, obviously with that being fixed, we are going to be running a manual transmission. It's going to be a E153 out of a 99 Toyota Camry. Those handle good power. We've seen people run them up to 600 stock tranny, so that should be plenty enough. We're going to do a manual swap, and we're going to run an E85 before we go back. So with those three things different, should give us more power. But yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to make full potential out of it because of the MAF was maxing out. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. And yeah, if you made it this far, I thank you very much. I do have some bonus footage for you guys. While we're heading back, this RSX wanted to run it, and we ended up getting new wheels for the Mini. So yeah, enjoy this bonus footage if you made it this far. Okay, so we just came back from the tire shop. My dad had these raised 50-70 yards for a while. He just got these tires today, and he just got them mounted. And this is what's gonna go on the van, obviously. So we're gonna do test fitting, and these are the lug nuts he's gonna be running. They're the raised lug nuts. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put them on right now. How much?
56.
How much do the other ones weigh?
52.
So a little bit lighter. The wheels that are currently on it are from his X-Runner. Actually, he bought these for his X-Runner because he's rocking the welds on this one. So that's why when he did, he drives that one. Just have the X-Runner wheels. But they actually went on this for now. Only because he's not really driving his truck right now. So they kind of went on here just until he got the tires, which he did. And now he's just slapping them on. Alright, so I got the wheel on. This is just the first one right now. We're still getting the rest on. But this is how it looks. This is how the wheel setup is going to be. On these ones, he's running a 255 45 18. These are Lionhearts. He couldn't really find anything else quick enough because this is his game. We are prepping for Toyota Fest. On the last wheels, which are those X-Runner wheels, these are also 18s. So on the X-Runner wheels, he was actually running 245 45 18s. This is a little bit wider. These are by a 9.5. He just dropped it, and this is how it looks. It actually looks pretty good. Now I just need to do the rear. Here he did the other side. Boom. Do the same thing. Just gonna flip it around, and we're just gonna do the rear right now. Alright, so we got all of them put on all the way around. You can see it looks a little low right now because it is jacked up in the front. Alright, there, boom, we dropped it right now. That's how the van looks. But nonetheless, it still looks pretty good, and this is the look we're gonna be taking to Toyota Fest.